The whistle blasts across the practice field at Midway College. Players collide with thunderous impact, pads cracking against each other under the merciless afternoon sun. Grunts and shouts echo as coaches bark orders through megaphones. This isn't just practice, it's warfare. Hit him harder. What are you, ladies? I said, hit him. A massive figure towers over a fallen teammate, sneering down with contempt. Derek Crusher Lewis, team captain and unquestioned king of this domain, spits on the ground beside the player struggling to his feet. If you can't take a hit from me, you don't belong on this field. The coach blows his whistle again. Lewis, enough. Back to positions. As the team reshuffles, a new figure jogs onto the field. Malik Johnson moves with quiet grace, his shoulders squared, eyes focused straight ahead. Unlike the others, there's no swagger, no unnecessary noise, just purpose in every step. From the sidelines, a boy no older than 12 watches with undisguised admiration. Malik's cousin waves enthusiastically when their eyes meet. Malik offers a subtle nod before pulling his helmet on. Well, what do we have here? Crusher circles Malik like a predator, sizing him up with obvious disdain. Coach, says you're some kind of running back phenom. Don't look like much to me. Malik's expression remains neutral, his focus unwavering as he takes his position for the drill. I'm talking to you, boy. The team falls silent, the tension electric. Crusher steps directly into Malik's path, blocking his way. In this house, you answer when spoken to. A coach shouts for the next drill to begin, and players scramble to position. As Malik attempts to move past, Crusher's shoulder drives hard into his chest. Malik staggers but doesn't fall. As Crusher turns away with a satisfied smirk, something flickers in Malik's eyes. Not fear, not anger, but something else entirely. Something dangerous. The locker room echoes with laughter as Malik opens his gym bag. Someone has filled it with garbage, banana peels, empty protein shake containers, sweat-stained towels. Seems like the janitor got confused about where the trash goes. Crusher high-fives his cronies, Jackson, Miller, and Thompson, their faces alight with cruel amusement. Malik silently empties the bag, his expression betraying nothing. What's wrong? Cat got your tongue? Or do you just not know how to talk? Malik methodically cleans his belongings, then pulls out his playbook. Even as the others head to the showers, he sits studying formations, making notes in the margins with precise handwriting. Look at the nerd, studying like it's gonna help. Miller grabs the playbook, tossing it to Jackson, who holds it high above Malik's head. Maybe you need to worry less about plays and more about not getting crushed on the field. Some teammates avert their eyes, uncomfortable but unwilling to intervene. Others snicker, grateful not to be the target today. During the next day's practice, Crusher escalates from words to action. When paired with Malik for tackling drills, he drives his helmet directly into Malik's ribs. A blatant, illegal hit. Oops. Guess you need to learn how to take a hit, princess, the coach shouts from across the field. Lewis, clean it up, or you're running laps until midnight. Later, during scrimmage, Crusher deliberately steps on Malik's hand after a play. When Malik gets up, Crusher leans in close. Go back to whatever hood you crawled out of. We don't need your kind here. The racial undertone hangs in the air like poison. For the first time, Malik's composure slips. His jaw tightens, eyes narrowing, just slightly. As the team breaks for water, Malik stumbles, his water bottle slipping from his fingers. The field falls silent, waiting for the inevitable collapse. Instead, he rises slowly, shoulders back, stance wider than before. Something has changed, and even Crusher notices the shift. Johnson, Lewis, center field, now. Coach Harmon's voice cuts through the afternoon heat like a knife. The team forms a circle around the chosen players, anticipation thick in the air. One-on-one Oklahoma drill. Lewis, you're on defense. Johnson, offense. Get through him and score, or get put on your ass. Simple as that. Malik secures his helmet, bouncing lightly on the balls of his feet. Across from him, Crusher slams his fists together, a predatory smile spreading across his face. "I'm gonna break you in half, boy." The whistle blows. Crusher launches forward with brutal force, shoulders lowered, arms ready to engulf his target. His technique is all raw power, a battering ram of muscle and meanness. Malik's response defies everyone's expectations. He doesn't cower or simply absorb the hit. Instead, he moves with startling precision. A slight pivot, shoulders angled just so, feet dancing in a pattern that seems more martial. Arts than football. The impact comes, but not as Crusher planned. Malik redirects the force, using Crusher's own momentum to slip past him. For a split second, Crusher grasps at air. Stunned silence falls over the field. Crusher regains his balance, turning with rage in his eyes to find Malik already 10 yards downfield. "Again!" Coach barks, his expression unreadable. They reset. This time, Crusher's approach is more controlled, more tactical. He feints left before driving right, attempting to anticipate Malik's movement. Again, Malik responds with uncanny awareness. He meets force with calculated resistance, finding the perfect angle to deflect rather than absorb. His footwork is mesmerizing, economic, yet fluid. As Malik slips past a second time, murmurs ripple through the watching players. The unthinkable is happening. Crusher is being outclassed. For the final repetition, Crusher's eyes burn with humiliation. He charges with reckless abandon, all technique abandoned in favor of pure, vengeful aggression. The collision resonates across the field like a thunderclap. For a breathless moment, the two figures are locked together. Crusher's raw power against Malik's perfect form. Then, impossibly, Malik shifts his weight. Crusher's momentum carries him forward into empty space as Malik spins free, leaving the team captain sprawling face first on the turf. A collective gasp rises from the team. Coach Harmon's whistle remains suspended halfway to his lips, his eyes wide with disbelief. Crusher rises slowly, grass stains marking his uniform, rage contorting his features. That was a lucky move, nothing more. But the damage is done. Seeds of doubt have been planted in the hierarchy of the pack. The next day brings escalation. Crusher gathers his inner circle before practice. "Today, we teach the new kid a lesson. He won't forget." Throughout drills, the targeting is blatant. When Malik catches a pass, Jackson drives his helmet into Malik's kidney. During blocking practice, Miller clips Malik's knees from behind, each hit more vicious than the last. Coach Harmon sees it happening but allows it to continue. A traditional welcome for newcomers, especially those showing too much promise too quickly. During a water break, Thompson drenches Malik with a cooler of ice water, claiming it was an accident. The laughter dies when Malik simply shakes it off and returns to position, his focus undimmed. "This motherfucker doesn't break," whispers Jackson, a note of unease in his voice. "Everyone breaks," Crusher replies. "We just haven't hit him hard enough yet." The final drill pits offense against defense in full contact scrimmage. Crusher orchestrates his plan with ruthless efficiency. On the third play, Malik takes a handoff, cutting through the line, only to meet a wall of defenders. Crusher, Jackson, and Thompson converge from 3 directions, hitting Malik simultaneously with bone-crushing force. The impact knocks his helmet clean off. He crumples to the ground. As Crusher stands over him, smirking with satisfaction, Malik rises once more. Blood trickles from his nose, but his eyes are clear and focused. There's something in his stance, now, a coiled readiness that wasn't visible before. Coach blows the whistle for the next play. As teams line up, Crusher turns to find Malik staring directly at him, the quiet submission gone entirely. Inside the coach's office, the atmosphere is tense. Assistant Coach Rivera tosses a folder onto head coach Harmon's desk. "You need to see this," Johnson's recruitment file. I just finished going through it. Coach Harmon flips through the pages, his expression shifting from curiosity to disbelief. 3 years of Muay Thai training, regional champion in 2 weight classes, and look, at his personal history, the pages reveal a young man who lost both parents in a shooting, raised by his grandmother in one of the toughest neighborhoods in Chicago. Photos show a younger Malik training with intense focus in a rundown gym, surrounded by martial arts trophies. His football stats were so impressive I never bothered with the rest of his background. This kid didn't just play football to escape. He's been fighting his whole life. Assistant Coach Rivera shakes his head. Lewis and his crew have no idea who they're messing with. Does Lewis know about this? No, but Johnson's earned some respect today. Word's spreading. Outside the office, Crusher lingers in the shadows, catching fragments of the conversation. His face darkens as he stalks away, fists clenched at his sides. Later, Coach Harmon finds Malik alone on the field, running extra drills as the sun sets. Johnson. A word. Malik jogs over, respectful but guarded. I saw what happened today. I also saw how you handled it. Malik remains silent, waiting. Most players would have either broken down or started, swinging. You did neither. I've faced worse, Coach. I know. I've seen your file now. Coach Harmon studies Malik carefully. This team has talent but a toxic culture. Players like Lewis think dominance means destruction. But true strength gestures to Malik. It looks more like this. As they speak, Crusher watches from the parking lot, seething. He punches the side of his truck, leaving a dent in the metal. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. The stadium lights illuminate the practice field for the Friday evening intra-squad scrimmage, the critical evaluation before conference games. Begin. Scouts from pro teams dot the sidelines, clipboards in hand. Listen up. Coach Harmon addresses the team. Tonight determines starting positions for the season. Show me what you've got. The offense huddles first. Quarterback Ryan Mitchell. Eyes Malik and Crusher, tension crackling between them. Power right, 34 cross. Malik, you're taking the handoff. Crusher interjects. Give it to someone who can handle the heat. Ryan ignores him. Break. The lines collide with seismic force. Malik takes the handoff, spotting the gap opening to his left. As he accelerates, he sees Crusher abandon his assignment, charging directly toward him with murderous intent. The collision that follows seems to unfold in slow motion. Crusher launches himself, helmet aimed at Malik's knees, a deliberate attempt to injure, but Malik has anticipated this. At the last possible second, he executes a perfect hurdle, sailing over Crusher's diving form. Crusher crashes into empty turf as Malik cuts downfield, breaking 2 more tackles before the safety finally brings him down 30 yards later. The sideline erupts. Coach Harmon allows himself a small smile. Crusher rises, spitting grass from his mouth. Lucky dodge, won't happen again. For the next play, Crusher convinces the defensive coordinator to call a blitz package, positioning himself directly opposite Malik, who's now lined up as a slot receiver. The ball is snapped. Crusher bulls through the line, shaking off a block, his trajectory a heat-seeking missile toward Malik. But as he closes in, Malik pivots with lightning speed, using Crusher's momentum against him. A precise shuffle of feet, a perfect dip of the shoulder. Suddenly, Crusher is grasping at air, his balance compromised. As he stumbles, Malik delivers a perfectly legal block that sends the bigger player sprawling onto his back. The entire field freezes in disbelief. The untouchable king of Midway's football team lies flat on his back, the wind knocked out of him, and standing over him, not in triumph but in quiet readiness, is Malik Johnson. The silence that follows feels endless. Crusher struggles to his feet, gasping for breath, his face contorted with rage and humiliation. "You're dead." The words come out as a wheeze. Coach Harmon's whistle cuts through the tension. "That's enough. next play, but the damage is done. The team has witnessed the unthinkable. Crusher, defeated not by luck or trickery, but by superior skill and discipline. As practice continues, a subtle shift ripples through the team. Players who once averted their eyes now glance at Malik with newfound respect. The defensive line, previously Crusher's domain, begins to fracture as loyalty gives way to uncertainty. In the final minutes of scrimmage, Coach Harmon calls for a goal line situation. One play, offense versus defense, winner takes bragging rights. Johnson, you're carrying the ball. Malik nods, his face betraying nothing. Across the line, Crusher gathers his remaining allies. He doesn't cross this line. Whatever it takes. The tension is palpable as teams take position. The snap comes, and chaos erupts. Malik takes the handoff, searching for an opening in the wall of defenders. Crusher and his crew converge, abandoning all pretense of legal play. Elbows aim for Malik's throat, hands grab at his face mask. For an instant, Malik disappears beneath a pile of jerseys. Then, impossibly, he emerges. Using a combination of football instinct and martial precision, he slips through the narrowest of gaps. Crusher lunges one final time, hands grasping. Malik delivers a perfectly timed stiff arm, textbook technique with just enough power. Crusher falls back as Malik crosses the goal line, ball secured against his chest. The offense erupts in celebration. Several defensive players, notably those who have suffered under Crusher's reign, offer congratulatory slaps to Malik's helmet. Crusher remains on the ground, the empire of fear he built crumbling around him. For the first time, he looks small. Coach Harmon blows the final whistle. Hit the showers. We've seen enough today. The locker room hums with unusual energy. Clustered in small groups, players replay the practice in hushed tones. Crusher sits alone at his locker, ice pack. Pressed to his shoulder, the usual sycophants nowhere to be seen. Ryan, the quarterback, approaches Malik with an extended hand. That was something else today. Where'd you learn to move like that? Before Malik can answer, Thompson appears, his usual arrogance replaced by something resembling shame. Hey, about the stuff with your bag and the water cooler, that was messed up. I shouldn't have gone along with it. Malik studies him for a moment, then nods once. No dramatic forgiveness, no continuation of hostility, just acknowledgement and the possibility of moving forward. Across the room, Jackson approaches Crusher with hesitation in his step. What happened out there, man? How did we get it so wrong? Crusher has no answer. Saturday morning dawns bright and clear. Students and alumni fill the stands for the season opener against State University. In the locker room, Coach Harmon delivers his final words before kickoff. Football isn't about who can hurt who. It's about discipline, teamwork, and heart. Today, I want to see all three. He surveys the room, his gaze settling on Malik. Johnson will start at running back. No protest rises from the ranks, not even from Crusher, who sits with uncharacteristic silence at the edge of the group. The team bursts onto the field to roaring applause. The first quarter proves brutal, with State's defense shutting down every offensive attempt. By halftime, Midway trails by 14 points, the mood in the locker room grim. Coach Harmon paces before his dejected team. We're playing as individuals, not as a unit. That changes now. The third quarter begins with renewed focus. Malik becomes the centerpiece of the offense, his explosive runs gaining crucial yardage. With each successful play, the team's confidence grows. Late in the fourth quarter, Midway has closed the gap but still trails by 4 points. One final drive remains, 80 yards to glory or defeat. In the huddle, Ryan looks to each face before settling on Malik. This is it. Leave everything on the field. The drive unfolds with desperate intensity. Short passes, punishing runs, the clock ticking down relentlessly. With 12 seconds remaining, Midway faces 4th down on State's 10-yard line. As the team breaks huddle for the final play, Malik catches Crusher's eye from the sideline. Something passes between them. Not friendship or forgiveness, but recognition. A nod of respect, barely perceptible. Malik settles into position, muscles coiled, ready for the snap. This moment. This is why he endured. This is why he stood his ground. The ball is snapped. Malik bursts forward, the roar of the crowd fading to silence as he finds his path to victory.